Dr. Chris Fox here with the student physical therapist. Today we're going to go over some different single leg RDL variations with progressions and regressions so that you can find the right point to train your client no matter where they're at. At the very beginning, I like to work on the hip hinge mechanic, teaching patients how to maintain that neutral spine. So I'll grab a dowel and place this behind their back. And you want to make sure that they have contact points for sure at the thoracic spine between the shoulder blades and here at the sacrum. At the head as well, if possible, but depending on your patient's posture, they may not be able to get to that point. They're going to keep the knees slightly bent and rock forward as far as they can, maintaining those contact points. If our client starts to bend excessively at the lumbar spine, you're going to see the dowel pop off the sacrum, and that means that they're going just a bit too far. So I'll typically have them go through this a few times just to make sure that they know how to dissociate lumbar and hip flexion and load the single leg RDL properly. Perfect. So next, people have a big challenge with different aspects of balance during the single leg RDL. So I'll try and progress them to two different methods. So one is where they use both hands either on a countertop or some sort of wall for support as they kick backwards while maintaining that neutral position of the spine and hip. So go ahead, Brian. So he's going to have both hands on some sort of stable surface. We've got the barbell here in the rig. And he's going to kick backwards with one leg while keeping his spine straight and in line. This way he's more focused on how to bring his trunk forward and extend his leg without having to worry quite as much about the balance. Excellent. Now the next step up on this, I'll give someone some sort of dowel or something for one side to balance. So I give Brian a dowel for the side that is the same side as the leg going back. So Brian is kicking back here and he's just got the one arm for balance. Here he's focusing for sure on maintaining that neutral position with the spine and not getting any excessive pelvic rotation one way or the other. Perfect. Now the challenge starts to come in here really with balance, where we're going to take this away and have Brian perform a single leg RDL, just arms going straight down. Perfect. And our goal here is, again, maintain that neutral spine, make sure that no excessive pelvic rotation is going on. Sometimes you can give a little bit of assist in this position as well by just giving a dowel for someone to hold across their body. Having something there for support to balance it out side to side can be beneficial. Now, a further stability challenge, he could go through that same motion and extend his arms forward. By extending the lever arm of our center of gravity, this puts further challenge on our muscles in the hip for maintaining that balance. You can see Brian's struggling a little bit with this one. Okay. All right, our next one, we're going to give Brian a dumbbell to add for a little bit of load. There you go. So you're going to hold the dumbbell on the same side as the leg going backwards. Perfect. Same exact pattern we've been working through, just having a dumbbell in hand. You can further progress it for load and play with the balance a little bit by having either a dumbbell in the other hand as well, or holding a barbell across the arms to load as you move through the motion. Or use a dumbbell as Brian's doing right there. So lastly, the way that I like to progress this is introducing some further challenge of instability. You can try and have your patient perform this on something like an AirX pad, a BOSU, something to just change their basis support, basically. So what we're going to do for Brian instead is add some rotational perturbation with a band. I think we had this video before called the Hip Destroyer. So I'm going to have Brian place one of his feet in this cuff here. So go ahead. And then it's got another band here to hold on to. So we got a stable surface here for one side of the band, and then it's connected to his foot, and then that same cuff is connected to a band that he's holding in his hand. So he's going to balance on his left leg with the left leg in front of the band. And he's going to kick backwards as he goes through a single leg RDL. So what you're seeing here is because that rotational force is being introduced, his peroneals, his tibialis posterior, the ankle musculature is doing its best to fight for stability, and then especially your ankle musculature is trying to support that neutral position of the foot to really curl up into a subtalar neutral position. With that added rotation as well, your gluteus medius is really be challenged as the pelvic is trying to be rotated and dropped into a little bit of contralateral pelvic drop. So that's a great way if you're just looking for a new way to introduce variations in the planes of motion and force to your patient while performing a single leg RDL. You're really going to build up some good postural control with it as well. Well, thank you for watching our video on single leg RDL progressions and regressions. This is the student physical therapist.